I hope you're having a fantastic day. And today we're going to talk about your legacy. How do you want to be remembered? That is a question that I asked myself a few days ago. And that question came up because of some deaths of some famous people that I know, that I used to know, and I used to admire. And one of them is a country singer in Mexico. He's a legend there. He's the idol of Mexico. And he has lived a good life and he has given a good example of his life. So he leaves that legacy plus all the songs that he had, very passionate songs. And these are country songs, basically. He's not, he could have been an opera singer, but he decided to be a country singer. Canciones rancheras, that's what we call them in Mexico. And that made me thinking, what, how do I want to be remembered when I go, when I'm not longer here? How do you want to be remembered when you're gone? And I guess to answer that question, we might be able to go back to see what the heroes of our country, of our lives, of the world, left to us. Abraham Lincoln, for example, uh, he had many things, but one of the things that I have noticed is this: they have something in particular that they're famous for, and that's how you can describe their legacy. For example, Abraham Lincoln was famous for the Gettysburg Address. I mean, is famous for the Gettysburg Address that he did, his speech there. But behind that speech, can you imagine what you had to have gone through to come up with that particular speech? It's very wisely done, very succinct, but behind it is a man, and is the story of a man that went through that and that suffered also. And it was that passion that he had. So that's what he left to us, but it's embodied in that speech. And behind that speech is a whole life, a whole set of principles that he set out for himself. And I guess if we pick up one word of how we want to be remembered, for example, if you want to be remembered as being proactive, which is what I uh, try to preach myself, behind those words of being proactive is a whole discipline that you have to follow. And if you say that you want to be remembered for a particular thing, then it forces you to be that. Saying it is not enough. And if you just say, I want to be remembered because I never give up, is that really the case? Do you have that behind that teaching? What are those instances that you can prove that you did not give up? Behind those words, there is a whole life. And that is what forces us to live that way, to live what we preach, to walk our talk. I hope that these words will enlighten you to think about your legacy and think about how you want to be remembered in life after you're gone. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow. In the meantime, stay safe, stay proactive. Goodbye.